Alright guys, I think we're live. Hello. We're trying something a bit different right now. As you can see, I don't again, these sort of cameras just make my face really thin. I don't know why it is. But we're trying something a little bit different. And let me know if you do enjoy it. Let me know if it's problematic in any way. But basically, we're just gonna have a bit of a chat. We're gonna have a bit of a chat. And I'm doing a live stream from my phone, so it probably is gonna be a bit up and down in terms of kind of lag and things like that. So I do apologise about that. But yeah, I mean, my face isn't this thin in real life, and my body isn't this thin in real life. I don't know why, it kind of shows it like that. But it is what it is, I guess. I'm just gonna have to roll with it. But we're just gonna have a bit of a general chat, really. If you've got any questions to ask me, anything you want to talk about as well, on the stream, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hopefully, it'll come up on the screen as well and everything like that. I've been struggling trying to find things to use to kind of, stream on my phone with, because obviously I don't have 1,000 subscribers to do that with. I don't have 1,000 subs. So, hold on, is this, how am I getting the, oh, this is good, right. I'm going to have to do that, aren't I? Get the chat. Okay, I said, hi, your camera looks abnormal, not going to lie. Yeah, I know. I don't know what it is, mate. I don't know what's happening. Look at this. My face looks so long. It looks so long, but anyway, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. But yeah, just anything you want to talk about, really. Anything you want to talk about in terms of, Man United, of course. The topics at the moment I put in the kind of, the topics I put in the title of this stream, I should say. Obviously, Sancho and Kane, Grealish, anything you want to talk about, but ultimately it's up to you. Welcome, Red Devil Studio. Welcome, G. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. And yeah, we're just gonna have a bit of a chat, a bit of a cool, calm chat. Really, obviously it's isolation period. You want people to talk to, you want people to interact with. So yeah, hopefully, you guys have got stuff to talk about. I've certainly got stuff to talk about as well. And let me know if the mic and everything's working as well. United Hub says, why is everyone dickheads, all my mates have been ditching me and my girlfriend left me? Yeah, I know. As I said, a tic-tac, exactly, mate. My head is not like this in real life, trust me. My head is not like this in real life. I don't know why it's so long in this camera. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure whether it's the resolution or something, but the way my head looks is ridiculous. The way my body looks is ridiculous. But yeah, I'm just trying something different, really, because I can't really get access to my computer. I can't stream with my computer, so I'm just trying it from my phone, seeing if it works. If it doesn't, then we won't do this again. But the first thing we're going to talk about is Sancho and Kane. And I've done videos on Sancho. I haven't actually done a proper video on Harry Kane coming to Manchester United. I did touch on it a little bit. In fact, I have done a video on it. Well, I'm lying. I'm forgetting what videos I've done. But I have done a video on Harry Kane, and I've done a video on both. For me, I just wanted to give my thoughts on why I don't think the Harry Kane transfer is in any way realistic. And I mean, it's pretty obvious to most people that this transfer isn't realistic. For me, the money involved is way, way too much. But it's not just that. Daniel Levy's a smart man. He's a shrewd businessman. He's not going to want to let go of their prize asset. Let's not get it twisted. Their best player by far in Harry Kane to a rival. And especially with what's happening right now, even though Manchester United as a club, we're very fortunate that, we've got owners that are they're wealthy, and, they do, and we do make a lot of money. We do turn over a lot of money that we can put into transfers as well. So we're lucky in that sense. But I still think the 200 million price tag that's being quoted and banded around the media at the moment, as to what we'd have to pay for Harry Kane, it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem plausible in any way. Now, obviously, there have been some, transfers that players have gone for 200 plus. I mean, Neymar went for about that much, even more probably, to PSG when he left Barcelona. So it has been done. Those sort of transfers have been made, but I just don't see it. I don't see us going in for Harry Kane, and I don't see Spurs selling Harry Kane to us. I just think it's a ridiculous proposition for Spurs. Even if they got 200 million to spend in the transfer window, are they going to be able to replace Harry Kane? Someone who's a proven goal scorer in the league, someone who's, blooded into the squad, knows what it means to be a Tottenham player. they won't be able to replace him. There's no way they'll be able to replace him with a same sort of goal scorer unless they're able to go out and get a Lewandowski, and even he is starting to knock on a bit. So there's no way they're going to want to remove him from their squad, and there's no way that they're going to want to sell him. So in my opinion, even though Harry Kane for me would be a fantastic player to bring into the club, I think to bring in a striker of that quality to get us, guaranteed 30 goals a season in all competitions from Harry Kane. He's one of the best strikers in world football, one of the best Premier League strikers in the last few seasons. And I'm not saying he's a bad player by any stretch. I just think the idea that we're going to bring Harry Kane in is, you may as well get that out of your heads already. I hope I'm wrong, but you may as well get that out of your heads already. It's not going to happen. The Sancho deal could potentially happen. I think obviously the money involved with that is slightly less than what's being quoted for Harry Kane, around the 120, 110 million pound mark. And I think as well, Sancho has some connections with some of the Man United players. Of course, he's part of the England squad. Very good friends with Lingard and Rashford, it seems. So there is definitely a lot more plausibility there with that transfer than there is with the Harry Kane transfer. I think the Harry Kane rumours are just kind of coming out because people are bored. People need to make stuff up. And the Harry Kane stuff, to be honest with you, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. As I said, I would love Harry Kane to join, but realistically, it's not an option. Realistically, it isn't. It just isn't going to happen, guys. And as I said, I wish I could be positive, and I wish I wasn't the bearer of bad news. But to be honest with you, if you were really dead set on Harry Kane joining Manchester United and you really thought it was going to happen, I'm afraid I'm 90% sure your wishes aren't going to be fulfilled, which is frustrating. And maybe in the future Harry Kane could join Manchester United because he has talked about wanting to try and progress his career and win trophies. And obviously Alan Shearer turned down Manchester United at the time. Will Harry Kane be the same? I think he will. Welcome Mo, thanks for joining Mo this evening. I think United will only get one deal through in the next transfer window, Jadon Sancho. Well, I think, as I was just saying, I totally agree with what you said. I think for me, the Harry Kane deal is it's a long chalk. It's a long way off that one. The Jadon Sancho one, however, it just seems to have more momentum. You see these sort of stories in transfer windows gone by, and it just fits the mould, really. I see this one happening. I can see Jadon Sancho joining Manchester United. I just can't see Harry Kane joining Manchester United this summer. Maybe next summer, but not this summer. I just don't see it. But thanks for joining, Mo, and I really appreciate it. As I said, guys, we can talk transfers till we're blue in the face, but let's be honest, most of the stories out there aren't true, and most of them are made up because people are sitting in their houses with nothing to do and they just want a bit of hope to hold on to. And these sort of transfer stories come out and they get clicks and things like that, and rumours start going around, people start talking. It's great for the newspapers and the website that publishes these sort of stories, but ultimately they're not true, most of them. In fact, 99% of transfer stories that come out aren't true. They're just kind of put out there for clicks, which is it's frustrating for the fan because you're trying to sort out what is real and what is fake. But it is what it is with the the football media industry, and it is what it is. But in terms of just having a bit of a debate with you guys, for me, I think Harry Kane would be a superb signing. And even though Rashford and Martial have been doing a decent job, a fairly decent job at least, up front, I think Harry Kane coming in, guaranteeing that 30, 35 goals a season, would just be gold dust to us. It really would. So I think if we were to bring in Harry Kane, if we had the opportunity to bring Harry Kane in, I think we need to, jump at that opportunity. If, as I predict, that opportunity passes us by, or that opportunity is completely made up by the newspapers, then I think Jadon Sancho is the one we should be looking at. Most has agreed. What do you think we should do with Henderson? I doubt we'll get his first choice over at De Gea next season. Possibly another loan deal to a Premier League club. I think Dean Henderson has been, very impressive for Sheffield United this season. He has made quite a few errors, I've noticed, and even in the, I think was it the under-21 Euros or under-21 World Cup, he wasn't brilliant. I think he's a player that is kind of here's a player that's what's the word? He's prone to making a few errors, and as a goalkeeper at the top level, it's it's hard to make a case for someone who is prone for making errors. You have the likes of Jordan Pickford and these guys who, do make errors a bit more often than probably they would like. And whilst I've seen Dean Henderson and he seems very, very good for Sheffield United, he was very, very good when he played us. And I think, his dream, as he said, is to play for Manchester United. And to hear a player say that who's, contracted to Manchester United is music to everyone's ears. It really is. But as you said, it's unlikely that De Gea it's unlikely he's going to dethrone David De Gea. And I've seen fans kind of, I've seen some fans wanting Dean Henderson to dethrone David De Gea. And, maybe they have a point, maybe not. But for me, I just feel like David De Gea has been so, so brilliant for us over the past kind of 6 seasons. And, he's won multiple Player of the Years award. He's saved our asses so many times. Even though he's having a bit of a sticky patch right now, I still believe he's better than Dean Henderson, in my opinion. G says, no way we should go for Kane, no way. Daniel Levy wouldn't sell him for any less than 200 million. As I said, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Oh. That's all right. Sorry, mate. But yeah, I do agree with that, to be fair. So I'm just checking this. I mean, it's lagging a bit, to be fair, but I guess that's expected. Also, because I'm close up, you can see my gash on the bottom of my lip there. But anyway, I mean, look, it is what it is. We just got to roll with it. It's an experiment. It's an experiment. Okay, that's way too low. That. Okay, it's an experiment. It's an experiment. I mean, look, as I said, this is not going to be a regular thing. It's not going to be something that we do all the time. But we're just trying it out, really. But yeah, I agree with what you guys were saying. But yeah, I don't see the Harry Kane thing happening just because of the money. It is just because of the money. I just think £200 million. Daniel Levy, as you said, G, isn't going to sell him for anything less than that. And realistically, will we have the money to pay Harry Kane? I don't think we will. I think we'll have to let a few players go before we look at bringing in Harry Kane, in my opinion. But as I said, he'd be a brilliant signing to make. Another player who I was thinking we should, bring into the club, and another player that's been talked about is Jack Grielish. And Jack Grielish has been in the news recently. Obviously, a bit of controversy surrounding him. Crashing his car and things like that, not obeying the lockdown regulations, and in the news for all the wrong reasons, let's say. And for me, I think he's a decent player. He's a fantastic player for Aston Villa. And if we can get him for a decent price, if we can get him for, let's say, maybe 40 million or under, I know that's kind of unrealistic, but if we can do that, if we can get a deal like that, I think we're looking at a very, very decent signing there. He's someone who's crying out for a move to a bigger club, a bit more of a test for him, kind of like Wilfried Zaha. Someone who is so desperate for that move to a bigger club. And I think Jack Grielish, what we've seen from him so far, shows he could well, move to a better club. And there was talk in the summer that he might move to Spurs. And I think Aston Villa as well, depending on what happens to them, because obviously, they could go down if the season does continue, of course, which again is a whole different thing. But if the season does continue, they might end up going down, and Jack Grielish might think, what, Man United next season, why not? Join up with some of the guys in the England squad, bet in with them, and have a better chance at getting a few more England caps as well. So let me know what you think of Jack Grielish. I think what I've seen from him at Aston Villa is fantastic. He's predominantly a left winger, but he likes to cut in from the left-hand side and kind of make play like that, similar to Mesut Ozil in that way. Probably a bit more effective than Mesut Ozil in big games, but that's by the by. Obviously, he's someone who, would be is very, very talented. You can't get away from that. He's a very, very talented player. Whether he'd fit into a front three that Manchester United possess currently, obviously we've got Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, Daniel James. We've already got 4 players that can fit those wide roles. And so if Grealish was to come into Manchester United, I doubt that he'd be playing on the left-hand side. I think he'd be more of a central attacking midfielder, someone playing in between the lines, and I would welcome that. I really would. Again, another, kind of youngish player. I think he's about 24 years old. So, still yet to reach the peak of his career. Still got a good 3 years before that happens. So, again, and a player who could potentially make memories at this club. And hopefully we can get that deal done. So, in my opinion, I think if we can get Sancho and Grealish through the door, our attack is looking very, very strong indeed. And I think defensively, it's difficult for me. It's difficult for me to decide defensively who we should bring in because our defence has actually not been too bad. Harry Maguire has played very, very well. Eric Bailly has actually been fantastic since he's come back from injury. I think he's had, 5 clean sheets since he's come back from injury, which is a mental statistic really, considering, you've been out for, 4 or 5 months and you haven't really played first team football and you come back in and you hit the ground running like he did. Fair play to him. And at this time, it'd be almost unfair on him to bring in a Koulibaly or another centre-back like that and push him off to the bench because actually he's slotted in so well. He's slotted in so well to that back line. And maybe the one position we should be looking at strengthening potentially is that left-back spot because a lot of people are getting on the back of Luke Shaw. Obviously, we've got Brandon Williams as well coming through, but it all depends on what formation we play as well. I think if we're going to play a 5 at the back as our main formation with the 3 centre-backs, I think we should be looking to bring in a centre-back. Because for me, playing Luke Shaw as the 3rd centre-back, it was like when England played Kyle Walker as the 3rd centre-back in the World Cup. It just wasn't fit. It wasn't a fit. So if we are going to play that 5 at the back with the 3 defenders, I think we should be looking to bring in the likes of Koulibaly, someone like that. And a defensive by Koulibaly and Maguire as the back 3 with, Luke Shaw and, Delo or someone like that on the right-hand side, or Wan-Bissaka, of course, on the right-hand side. It shapes up very, very nicely. It really, really does. Mo says, we'll have to see what the Pogba situation is. Yeah, of course, again, the midfield is going to be another talking point because the Paul Pogba situation, for me, I think, I'll tell you what, if you asked me a month ago, I would have said Paul Pogba's gone. Paul Pogba's finished at this club. What was coming out, what his agent was saying, what Pogba himself was saying, and all the rumours surrounding him, I just thought Pogba was done at this club. But now it seems like, all that sort of statements are being retracted. And what we're seeing is Paul Pogba almost wanting to commit his future to Manchester United. Now, whether that has anything to do with the fact that Bruno Fernandes has come in and, Fred's starting to perform, and he's seeing a bit more of a long-term picture for Manchester United, which will bring success. Maybe he wants to stay, maybe he wants to continue. Maybe Solskjaer and the rest of the coaching team have, got into his shell and said, look, mate, we've got a really, really good plan here. We want to go forward with it. We want you to stay. And maybe he's agreed to it. Who knows? I still think it's more likely he's going to leave the club, but I think there's more. There is now an increasing chance that Paul Pogba could stay. And if he does stay, then that's great because he is a very, very good player on his day. Obviously, a lot of United fans would just want him to be a lot more consistent than he actually is. But as you said there, we could use the money for so many other players. And that is what's going to be the main talking point amongst United fans in this debate, is that if we sell Paul Pogba, the possibilities with that money, especially if we add that to an existing transfer budget, which is usually in the realms of 100 to 150 million, sometimes even more, we could be looking at bringing in a superstar with the sort of money that we could get for Paul Pogba. One of the main issues with that, of course, is which club is going to be brave enough to pay the sort of wages and the transfer fee for Paul Pogba. It's hard because a player who hasn't really shown consistently enough that he's a world-class player, we've seen it on occasions, no doubt about it. We've seen it on occasions that he can be a world-class midfielder, one of the best in the world, one of the best in the Premier League. But I'm not sure whether he's shown it enough to warrant, you know, a massive transfer fee. I think we need to make sure we do, you know, get over at least 120 million for him, because I think in this current market for a player of the quality that he's displayed in the past, I think that's a good enough price. But I think in the same token, he hasn't really been consistent enough to suggest that he can be going for like 200 million. I don't think he has, but there we go. But yeah, I mean, all the sort of players we could buy for that is just colossal. Mo says yes, but Kane coming in will strengthen our 11 massively. He's quite young as well. Look, I think Harry Kane would be a superb signing for us to make. I really would. I just think it's unrealistic because of the money involved. The only way we get Harry Kane is potentially, you know, we look to, you know, swap a player. But I just think Daniel Levy is a smart guy. He's not going to sell Harry Kane to a rival. If Harry Kane's going to leave, it's either going to be for a ridiculously overpriced amount of money, or it's going to be to a foreign league like Bayern Munich once Lewandowski's gone, or Real Madrid once Benzema's gone. You know, one of these teams. I don't see Harry Kane coming to Manchester United, although I do hope I'm wrong. But guys, I'm going to end this little experiment here. We've been live for about 21 minutes. Let me know how it was. Let me know if any improvements. I know the camera and stuff, you know, makes me look a bit weird. I know my mouth is probably moving a bit behind what I'm actually saying. But if you did enjoy it, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, let me know your thoughts on anything discussed in this video in the comment section below. But thanks for watching. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.